Hey loves, welcome back. Welcome back. I am your host, Dee Shields, and we are here talking about the silent sound heard around the world. Again, we're going to go through this through lyrics. So the silent sound heard around the world in September 2024 when the feds went to a hotel in New York and arrested Diddy the night before he was about to turn himself in. They arrested him in New York at a hotel when he was coming back in the lobby, and it was unexpected. An appeal was made. A second appeal was made. I think a third appeal. Possibly, we are in October. It's October 8th today. So possibly a third appeal is coming, but he did not get out on bond. And the indictment is a 14-page indictment that I have read. And since then, the media has been on a storm with talking about all things Diddy. And of course, they're going through old videos. People are alleging this and alleging that. There has been another lawsuit since Cassie that has come up where an attorney, Buckabee, says that he has, I think, 120 plus individuals that he's going to be filing separate cases on in regards to allegations against Diddy. And the attorney also announced that it would also be pharmacies, banks, hotels, and a host of other people coming, and that these would be individual cases. So this is a big deal as Diddy waits behind bars for what all is about to happen. And as we can tell with the election year 2024, major hurricanes tearing up cities, so much is going on. Not likely to see that trial happen in 2024. So, you know how these things go. This one is huge. And as you can see with all the gossip across YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, and everywhere else, this is going to be a really, really big deal for the hip hop industry, maybe even for Hollywood and it just going further into regular everyday communities with the allegations and the charges and things that are out there. So, of course, the conversation is, goes to the music, and everyone's trying to find all the secrets that may exist or may not exist. And I overheard a conversation going on Facebook where the discussion of Diddy's I Need a Girl. So they were talking Diddy's I Need a Girl. And people seem to be thinking maybe from the video or maybe from the lyrics, just because it's Diddy and Usher, people seem to think that Diddy is talking to Usher in this song. So we are going to break down the lyrics because I beg to differ. And I am going to tell you who Diddy is talking to in the part where you guys say he is talking to Usher. I am going to address who Diddy is talking to because the timing of when this song was put together, and in addition to just some other things. So let's stay with me, and I'm going to get to the bars on bars. I'm your host, Dee Shields, and we are breaking down the lyrics here on Lyrics Breakdown. And let's get to these bars and why I feel that you guys have it all wrong. Diddy is not talking about Usher. Let's get a little tea in there. Should we throw in the tea right now? Let's go ahead and throw in a little tea. Let me say this. This is something I think that you guys are missing. Okay, let me try to remember to come back to that. I'll throw that thought in and just, you guys are missing something huge when it comes to this whole thing that is Sean Puffy, P. Diddy, Love, all these names that he had over the years, Combs. Like, you guys are missing something major. And don't get yourselves in trouble, because Mama Combs told us not to play with about her son, that she's not here for all this dragging of her son. And, somebody who was a girlfriend to a gangster that was associated with Frank Lucas, I wouldn't be out there on the microphones cutting up the way y'all cutting up, because I'm beginning to think that it is very, very possible that a lot of trouble could come to all those people that are out there clapping and rapping on their lips on the microphones, on them podcasts, trying to get their 15 minutes of additional fame. And then you see the stars that are just, like they're quiet, like they have enough knowledge to know not to play with their family, perhaps. I don't know, but let's get into the lyrics. Yeah, come on, I need her, I want her. Is what Diddy says in the intro, and Usher comes with, I need a girl to ride, need a girl to make my wife, I need a girl who's mine, all mine, I need a girl in my life, Usher says. So Diddy then comes and says, excuse me just a moment. So Diddy then comes in and he says this. Okay, pause. All right, so back into that. So, okay, let's revisit that. So, Usher said what he said. I need a girl, right. I need a girl to make my wife. I need a girl who's mine on mine. I need a girl in my life, right? Then we get into the Diddy lyrics. So Diddy says, yo, I'm internationally known on the microphone. This is 2002. Okay, so either he was putting that mantra out there because it definitely became so, or he just stayed confident because Diddy owned the 90s, right? So he said, I'm internationally known on the microphone. I got it all, but I really need a wife at home. I don't really like the zone. Never spend the night alone. Wow, right? Like maybe these constant parties, right, is because he just doesn't like to be alone. Have you ever met, you guys have that person in your family. We all have that person in our family that they just hippity hoppity can't sit down because they don't want to be alone with their thoughts. Sometimes those persons become addicts. Sometimes those persons become wild party goers. Sometimes those become workaholics. But whatever it is, they just don't want to sit alone with their thoughts. They don't want that part of life. He says, I don't really like the zone. I don't want to spend the night alone. So that could explain the freak offs right there, right? Anyway, he goes, I got a few you would like to bone. So I guess on that international zone, he have a whole bunch of them that you would like to bone. Now, that could definitely, cause a couple of questions to go across the witness stand if he takes the stand, for sure, and the lyrics become something that they decide to break down in that courtroom. So he said, chicks that romance me don't tickle my fancy. Please remind me. I'm going to come to that in just a moment. We're going to come back up to that very topic of something I really think you guys are missing when it comes to Sean, Puffy, P. Diddy, Love, Combs. Okay. So he says, chicks that romance me don't tickle my fancy. Only Tiffany, Nancy, that's where my plans be. Only Tiffany, Nancy, he's talking all luxury all the time, right? So he says, I need a girl that can stand me, raise me a family, go from trips to Delancey to trips to the Grammys. Because most of these girls be confusing me. We're going to talk some more about that in a few. He said, most of these girls be confusing me. I don't know if they really love me or if they using me. Maybe it's the money or maybe you ain't used to me because you was depressed and now you're abusing me. That's why I need me a girl that be true to me. We're going to talk. Once I break down to you in the next bars on bars, who I'm talking about, and it's not Usher, then you're going to understand that line a bit more. That's why I need me a girl, Diddy continues to say, that be true to me, know about the game and know how to do it to me. Do to me without a girl on my side. It shall ruin me. Forget the world, girl. It's you and me. Now let's ride. Then Usher hits it with, I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to make my wife. So you guys know the song, right? I need a girl who's mine on mine. So continues on. That's the, hook. Then we go back to bars on bars. So then we go into a rapper, Loon, who says what he says. Do we really need to break it down? I guess so, for the people who don't know the song. Yeah, now I done met a lot of women in my lifetime. This is Loon. But see, it's not a lot of women that got the right mind. I didn't have pretty chicks with all the right features and hood rat chicks that only rock sneakers, cell phones, and beepers and know how to treat you. You break her heart, she'll walk out and leave you. He didn't have him some hardcore East Coast, okay? He said what he said. They don't play on the East Coast. Shout out to my friends on the East Coast. He said, I found a girl, I'm a keeper, because now I'm getting money and the game getting deeper. Yo, on some real ish, I need somebody I could chill with. I need somebody I could build with. I need somebody I could hold tight. Wintertime in full length Snow White. Anytime we together feel so right. You the girl I've been looking for my whole life. God bless me. I'm glad I got the insight. Because of you, girl, now I understand life. I need a girl. Then Usher comes in again when I need a girl to ride. I need a girl. Just love me some Usher. Okay? I need a girl to make my wife. I need, So Usher says what he says, right? And Usher got that. He got himself a girl that became a wifey of all wifeys. And Usher is living his best relationship life right now, right? So anyway, back to Diddy. So nobody else, she's all mine. Usher says, I need a girl in my life. Usher claimed that over and over, got the wrong girl to make, and then he ended up getting the right girl, and he is living his best life because he put that mantra out into the universe over and over again. as Michael Jackson used to say, you say it over and over again, it becomes something that's in the mind. And he got it. He manifests that thing. And Usher got that. But this is not about Usher. Let's get back to Diddy. So that verse 3. Look, he's not talking about Usher. And we're going to have a conversation. You're going to get it. I'm going to say the lyrics. And then we're going to come back. And then you're going to go, girl. Okay? So this is who he is talking about. Diddy says it's 2002. And he is saying, I'm going to first say the lyrics and we're going to come back to what he's saying. He said, I had a girl that would have died for me. Didn't appreciate her, so I made her cry for me. Every night she had tears in her eyes for me. Caught a case, shorty took the whole ride for me. At first we were friends, then became lovers. You was more than my girl when we was like brothers. Y'all keep talking about that's about Usher, and it's not. It's about who's it's about. It's right there in your face. All right, continue verse 3. All night we would play fight under covers. He ain't talking to Usher. He's talking to this one y'all keep missing. He says, now you gone, can't you love you like I really want her? I'm sorry, he said, now you're gone, can't love you like I really want her. But every time I think about your pretty smile, Usher said, oh. And then he says, and how we used to drive the whole city wild. Damn, I wish you would have had my child. So a pretty little girl with Diddy's style, and he ended up, I'll get to that in a minute. Shit is wild. All them days I reminisce about the way I used to kiss them pretty lips. But as long as you happy, I'm going to tell you this. I love you, girl, and you're the one that I will always miss. I love you. And Usher said, oh, I need a girl to ride. Because he like, oh, they not going to figure that out. You know, so Usher got it on the mic. Just went crazy with the hook. I need a girl to make my wife. I need a girl who's my... Okay, so back to the point. Diddy is not talking about Usher. Are y'all crazy? It was 2002. If y'all don't get out of your 2024 minds, it was 2002. He was hurting on that microphone. He gets in the studio and he talks about what had been unfolding for the past 2 or 3 years. What had happened? What happened 2 to 3 years before he wrote that part of the song? What is he so heartbroken about? Where is this person going back to bars on bars on bars? Where he says, most of these girls confuse me. I don't know if they really love me or they using me. And then he says, maybe it's the money or you ain't used to me because you was depressed and now you're abusing me. This man, and here we go to the nitty gritty of who I'm talking about and who he's talking about. This man is talking about the one and only Jenny from the block. But then it's just, okay, before we go back to verse 1, let's scoot on down back again to verse 3. Let's talk to Jenny from the block, who he had with him at the nightclub that night. In 1999, he's at the nightclub. Then something happened. Then Shine says, people went, he had to take a case for Diddy. When Diddy, had the witnesses, according to Shine, allegedly, Shine says that Diddy paid some witnesses and he ended up taking a case for him. Jennifer Lopez is there. She's accused of this situation. There are people the girl that got shot, bless her soul, who said that, no, I know for sure Diddy shot me. People said Jennifer had, the authorities said Jennifer had residue on her hand. We are talking about Jenny from the block. We are talking about Jennifer Lopez. We are talking about J-Lo in verse 3. Not Usher. Get your mind out the homophobic gutter. He's not talking about Usher. This is not to say that Diddy doesn't have the alleged lifestyle that they say that he has. And this is not even a shock if Diddy does have that lifestyle. We're going to talk about that part in a minute. Let me not make that thought yet. He's talking about Jennifer Lopez. He's talking about J-Lo. He's talking about his Jenny from the block. He's talking about a living color background dancer. He's that J-Lo. That same one. Jenny from the block she was a whole movement. She just calmed down and put on an image for y'all later, but she was nothing to be played with. And if you think it's a joke, go watch Enough. No, I'm joking. Shout out to that movie. That movie is so good. Go watch Enough. You know J-Lo is that girl, right? So anyway, he said, I had a girl that would have died for me, Jennifer Lopez, 1999. The case was going down. They were about to be in a whole bunch of ish that night. She pulled out hers, maybe, possibly, allegedly. He pulled out his, possibly, allegedly. Shine pulls out his, possibly, allegedly. Everybody just banged up the club. Residue on her hand. She gets out the way, ends the relationship with Diddy. It's over. It's done. He's hurt. That whole night was a whole mess that broke him. That was the love of his life, possibly forever. Never recovered from it. He finally wanted a girl, and then he couldn't. The one that he got that was like a brother in the sheets. Okay, let's get back to the lyrics. He said, I had a girl that would have died for me. I didn't appreciate her, so I made her cry for me. That night after all that drama, and then they had to go to court, and then they were once the New York's top hottest couple at that time in 99, 2000. I mean, well, probably the 98, 99. They're New York's hottest couple, and all of a sudden in 1999, they make this big mistake, and then they got beyond themselves, and it's a little too heated, and now they in some deep trouble. I didn't appreciate her, so I made her cry for me. I got her caught up in my mess. Every night did he get caught up in her mess? Okay. Every night she had tears in her eyes for me. I caught a case. Shorty took the whole ride for me. Because they caught a case. This is exactly what did happen. They caught a case from that night from 1999. He's writing these lyrics in 2002 because he beat that case. Unfortunately, allegedly, Shine says that he's the one that took the rap for him. He forced him to. According to Shine, allegedly, he says that he paid some witnesses and he went down for him. Now, Shine's a politician and doing what he does in the country that he's in. He's moved past these things, but he wants everyone with the recent words that he had to say to understand what really happened that night. And that's his story, and he's sticking to it. So he says about J-Lo, I caught a case, Shorty took the whole ride for me. At first, we were friends, then we became lovers. You were more than my girl. We was like brothers because J-Lo was Jenny from the block. J-Lo's not the girl you guys know now. In the 90s, she was Jenny from the block. She was hood. She had a little thick. She wasn't nothing to be played with. She showed y'all in enough. Don't play with her. Go watch the movie if you haven't seen it. Do you understand? She said, don't play with her. Right? So at first we were friends and we became lovers. You was more than my girl. We was like brothers. He's talking to Jennifer Lopez. He's talking about J-Lo. All night we would play fight under the covers. She got that whole Jenny from the block play fight and put on, the baggy blue jeans and the halter top and that flannel shirt and get undercover and just play around and goof around with her dude and lay like Meg Thee Stallion did that one day when she was playing a video game and her cheeks was all up in dude face and watching anime. That was J-Lo. That was Jenny from the block back in the day. So he saw all night we could play fight under the covers. You was more than my girl. He said we was like brothers. Not talking to Usher. He's talking about J-Lo. And he says, now you gone. I can't love you like I really wanna. Because she's never coming back. You had me catch a case. I'm about to get the role of Selena. I'm about to get all these Hollywood roles. I have Made in Manhattan waiting for me. Okay? She's got all these great movies about to happen for her. And you almost messed it up for me. So no, I'm not coming back. And he now knows that. So he says, now you're gone. I can't love you like I really want to. But every time I think about your pretty smile and how we used to drive the whole city wild. He says, damn, I wish you would have had my child. He wanted to have a child with J-Lo so bad that he later, fast forward, he finds him a Jenny from the block. Ride hard with that love for him, with that love earring on. And gives him a pretty little girl that he dreamed about. So he got his J-Lo looking baby now, right? But just didn't have it with J-Lo. But this is, again, the heartbreak. Because hurt men do the things that we see Diddy do in that video that was released on CNN with him kicking and beating Cassie. That's someone that is so hurt and so broken, he doesn't care. And he doesn't care about himself. He's not going to care about anyone else. And that heartbreak or whatever it is, pain and the zone that makes him not want to stay alone. He just said that to you a couple of bars ago. He can't stay alone with his thoughts because his thoughts are nasty, possibly, allegedly, because of so many things that he's done. And for that one moment, he was able to, play around like brothers under the covers with J-Lo. And then he messed that up. So he's hurt by the time he gets to Cassie. Right? That's decades later. It's that kind of pain. It never was dealt with until a couple of months of, trying to get what he could from TD Jakes' mentoring. it was probably the church is not going to let me say it's too late. But then the church they out there just crucifying Diddy. So they might not even think that God would be there for Diddy. I don't know. The church is out there crucifying Diddy on them social media streets, right? But every time I think about Your Pretty Smile, he says, and how we used to drive the whole city wild. That was them. That was Diddy and J-Lo. Then he says, damn, I wish you would have had my child, a pretty little girl with Diddy's style. He said, the shit is wild. All them days that I reminisce about the way I used to kiss them pretty lips. Look at J-Lo. Look at Jenny from the block. Go look at all them lips from Living Color all the way to now. And he's talking about J-Lo. But he said, but as long as you're happy, I'm going to tell you this. Because she's moved on. It's 2002 and he knows that this could never happen. Even though they ended up being pretty cool. We saw the A-Rod, video with J-Lo talking to Diddy. That's floating around again. So he says, but as long as you're happy, I'm going to tell you this. I love you, girl, and you're the one that I will always miss. That one that got away. So every person after that had to pay for the hurt pain of the one that got away, that he knew he had found his it. She was cool with all the freaky nasty things that he was into, and then he tried to recreate her in Kim Porter, but he made sure that she looked so absolutely different from that love that was J-Lo, right? Tries to make it, okay, I'm gonna make this work. I come on, Kim, you gotta make this work for me, because the side piece, whatever, J-Lo, it's your story, you tell it. You have to get on that mic and tell it, but I fell in love with her. She was it. So then Kim starts getting it in allegedly and having to go through whatever his emotional traumatic response is to not getting J-Lo, the one that got away. He says, I love you, girl. You're the one that I will always miss. I love you. He's talking to J-Lo. He's not talking to Usher. Y'all, get out your homophobic feelings. Deal with the issues y'all got in your own family on that. Right? And then let's take it back to that. Let's go back up to verse 1. Since we're going to talk about Diddy and his lifestyle. Allegedly. He says in verse 1, I need a girl that will stand with me, raise a family with me. He did get that from Kim Porter. Shout out and may she forever rest in peace to Kim Porter, right? Says, goes from trips to Delancey to trips to the Grammys. Most of these girls be confusing me. Not all of them. He said, but most of the girls be confusing me. I don't know if they really love me or they using me. That's 2002. It's a shock to non-industry folks that Diddy is bisexual. Diddy's been confused about how women really feel about him. He's been traumatically dealing with whatever it is. Allegedly, there's a documentary that I watched yesterday that mommy grabbed him into her lifestyle for a while of the sex workers lifestyle and used it possibly this super hung. So I hear right. So we hear that Diddy super hung, and there's allegedly some rumors out there about how that benefited the enterprise that mommy was running, and that this is where he learned this lifestyle and became an expert in, and how he was able to use the benefits of his super hung. And I'm not gonna say that. I can't say that on air. Yeah, I can't say that on there. That won't sit well with individuals that'll be like, I can't even believe she said that. Let's go get her. Because I can't even believe she even put that out there like that about me. And I'm not talking about anybody famous. I'm talking about officials that describe too in detail of what's happening on those videos. And I'm going, you watched all that for hours? Because you seem to be really sure about what you saw Diddy doing. But they say he hung. I don't know, because, your girl never got a chance to be in the presence of anything, Diddy, right? But they say he out there on inches, energy, big Diddy energy. Got that big Diddy energy, right? So, people used him possibly for his big Diddy energy, as all the big Diddy energy dudes out there know. Girls come to y'all and they use y'all for all the little extra that you can please them with, and then they confuse you and they throw you away, and then they're the one that got away and they hurt you, and you go out and hurt a bunch of people, and you may not kick them around and do the worst like Diddy did to Cassie in that hallway on that video that was released on CNN that he apologized for, but that was way too late of an apology. But probably hurting them and breaking hearts and doing the worst because they didn't use you for your big Diddy energy. But because they say they say he is capable of utilizing the tool that he was gifted with on a continuous basis. And like he said, I like to stay in the zone. I don't want to be alone. So he stays up in parties all night. And he just needed a girl to ride with him and to be in the covers with him and to feel like they was brothers. He was talking about J-Lo. There was a time when he had that and he fumbled it. But Lord, can we just have a Ben and J-Lo moment in verse 1? Let me get my glasses back on. Just for a minute. Let's just go off topic for just for a minute. He said that most other girls be confusing me. I don't know if they really love me or they using me. Maybe it's the money or maybe you ain't used to me. But then he tells J-Lo, because you was all depressed. Maybe she was depressed because she was all fat. And then he comes in and he loads her with money. And then she goes getting, some Ozempic. It wasn't Ozempic back then. What was it? Some red pills, some lipo and all this other stuff. And gets all the fat off of her. Now she's fine. He said, you was depressed and now you're abusing me. I helped you get that body tight. Because we know that was Diddy money. Right? So have you seen her in Living Color versus her body when she was with Diddy? So he's like, I got that body tight, did everything because you was depressed. And then I did all that. And now you are abusing me. J-Lo, were you putting your hands on Ben too? Okay, this allegedly. Did you hear? What do you do? And why do all of them seem to use the hurt me kind of language when they're talking about this relationship with you, girl? But anyway, we're not talking about Ben and J-Lo right now. We're talking about Diddy. So verse 3 is not about Usher. You silly little people. He says, I had a girl that would have died for me in 1999. He doesn't say that. In 1999, she would have died for me. Then he says in the lyrics, didn't appreciate her, so I made her cry for me. Because all this drama is going on now. They caught up in the courts, and every night she's crying. Like, what have you gotten me into? He said every night she had tears in her eyes for me. Then he says they caught a case. They did. They couldn't just shoot up the club and shoot somebody in the face and people hurt and things happen and people dying. And yeah, they caught a case for that. Caught a case. Shorty took the whole ride for me. But then she was out. At first we were friends back then. He said we became lovers. You was more than my girl. We was the brothers. We was like brothers. It's not about Usher. All night we would play fight under the covers. He's talking about J-Lo. Now you gone. She left him. She did. Left Ben, left A-Rod too. Left everybody. So I can't love you like I really want to. But every time I think about your pretty smile. Yeah, he's not talking about Usher, guys. He's talking about Jenny from the block. What are your thoughts? Hit me up. Let me know. Hit me up on social media. I am D Shields. I am your host, D Shields. You can hit me up. I am D Shields on X to tell me what you think about whether or not he's talking about Usher. Is he talking about J-Lo? Breaking down the lyrics. I am your host for Lyrics Breakdown, D Shields. And also make sure that you catch me on my podcast, What D Says. I appreciate you guys.